All right, welcome, my beautiful people, to this week in review. And today I'm going to right into today's question. And it is, Fernando, seeing that there's been a lot of hurricanes and a lot of natural disasters, can you go over your SOPs for hurricane preparedness? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to read off our, so let me share the screen so we can go right into what our policy is. And again, if you don't have a policy in place, let me see if I can bring this up. I don't know if it's a Word document. I don't know if I can bring it up, but now that I mentioned, so let's see. Presentation, share screen. No, darn it, I cannot share it. So I'm just going to read off the policy then. I thought I can share this thing. Huh. Let me try this. Let me try something else. Well, I can't share the screen, so let me go right into the Word document. So our document or our policy is starts with the purpose, right? So when you create a policy for your business, whether it's a short-term business, any business, the first thing on your policy should be what the purpose of the policy, right? So the purpose of this policy is to ensure the safety of guests, staff, and property during a hurricane. The policy outlines the procedures staff must follow, prepare for, respond to, and recover from hurricanes and or tropical storm while minimizing the disruption to the guests. So here's how we don't activate this policy until we get a hurricane watch. So when hurricane watch is activated, then the first thing that happens is we communicate with the guests, right? We notify all current and incoming guests of the potential hurricane, providing information on its progress, local emergency procedures. Now, we encourage our guests not to come if they haven't checked in yet, if there's a hurricane watch. But if they're already on the property, then we're going to communicate with them to let them know that there's a watch. And then we're going to have a mandatory, let me continue with the policy, discuss if you have any questions, just comment below and we can go through it. But we offer the guests assistance in planning early checkouts or alternative accommodations if they wish to leave the area. We encourage guests to follow news, weather updates, and provide a copy of the property's emergency contact list and local shelters. So that's what we do when we get a hurricane watch with our guests. Then for the property itself, once we get that watch and that watch is there, then we secure all outdoor furniture, pool equipment, or anything that's loose outside of the outside on the property. We secure that, right? Then we make sure that all locks or all windows and doors are locked and secured. Most of our properties, or a lot of our properties, have hurricane impact windows and doors, so there's not much we need to do there. But on properties that don't have hurricane impact windows, then we set up so that we can start placing the shutters or shutter up the property. Then in terms of our staff, in addition to that, we check for backup power sources such as generators to ensure that things are operational. Some of our properties do have generators, but most do not. So what we like to do in certain cases, depending, this will happen after the fact, is have several generators on staff. The staff itself, right? The staff preparation. Ensure staff are fully briefed on their role and responsibility during the storm. Have a transportation plan in place for the staff who may need assistance reaching the property. Maintain clear line of communication with all team members, mobile phones, or group chat. Now, what happens when we get a hurricane warning procedure, right? So we go from the watch to now the warning. Hurricane warning indicates the conditions are expected. Oh, hurricane conditions are expected within 36 hours. At this point, we take the following action. This point is what I mentioned before: evacuation and guest safety. We strongly advise all guests to evacuate to a safer location, provide information on shelters and nearby accommodations that are outside the storm projected path. Now, if you have a small company, or if your company is regional to us, or it's located in a specific area, then in this case, and I highly recommend it, if they book through an OTA, then you reach out to that OTA and get assistance from them in relocating these guests. We're fortunate that we are a large company. We have a large property portfolio that are not just here in South Florida, but in Central and Northern Florida and other parts of the states, that if need be, we can accommodate the guests in another location on another property that we manage. But if we don't have that, then through my travel agency, locate someone else. But again, we'll also recruit the assistance of the OTA or the platform that originally booked. It's very important that you communicate with both the guest and the platform in which they booked. Now, in terms of staff safety, during the storm, during a hurricane watch, all staff should be this from duty and allow them to prepare their own personal property and home. Right? That's essential. Your staff they should have a priority. Once that hurricane warning is there. In the watch, the property is going to be preparing the properties and ensuring that the guests are safe. But during a warning, it's imperative that you assist your staff and make sure they have what they need in order for them to be safe. Then the final property preparations. During the watch is when these shutters will go up if we need to do that. We also turn off on all unnecessary utilities. And or if there's gas, propane, stuff like that, we bring that in. Post-hurricane procedure, once the hurricane has passed, we follow the following step to ensure safe return to normal operation. The first thing is safety inspection. No staff or guests should return to a property until local authorities have deemed it safe. That's very important. Unless we get the green light from the local authorities, we're not going to respond to the property. But once we get that green light, then we will respond to the properties and start conducting our property inspections. During this process, if a guest decides to stay on the property, ride the storm out against your wishes, because again, you're going to highly encourage them to leave, it's important that they have those emergency numbers handy and that you get that to them, and that you immediately notify once the store passed, or contact once the store passed, to ensure if they're okay. And they could also help you in conducting that property inspection, right? Then next step will be cleanup repairs. We begin getting everyone from our landscapers, especially our landscapers, to start responding to the properties and start the cleanup process. The last thing we're going to do is that after action report, which is what we refer to as the staff debriefing, so we can see, what can we have done better? Did we miss anything? If there's issues, what are the next steps for the individual properties, like filing insurance claims if we need to, etc. So that's our policy. If you have any question on what type of policy you should have, then I highly recommend that you get with a professional to help you walk that through. Or like I said, if you want a copy of our policy, then just DM me Hurricane Preparedness, And then I'll send you a copy of our policy so you can use it as a go-by. Now, let me share my screen because now I know I could, because we're going to go over our analytics. So this past week, we brought in 36.7 thousand. We had 260 nights booked. Our occupancy rate is at 66.22. Average daily is at 141, and rep is at 94. By the big head, you can see that most of the money came in through Airbnb. They brought in 20.24 thousand. Booking is at 7.7. We're at 5. Verbal is at 3.2, and all other is under 500. Per property, Oakland Park 77, Miami 341, others 88, Big House 168, 260 Fort Lauderdale 189. In terms of challenge, I just talked about hurricane preparedness. We had, back-to-back hurricanes in less than, if I'm not mistaken, less than 45 days hit Florida and Georgia. So, it's on our toes. In terms of staff, nothing to report in terms of staffing. And in terms of projects, as you can see, I'm back in town, and I don't have any pending projects for the next probably 10 days. I am to go up to Georgia because not this last hurricane, but the last hurricane actually hit our property in Georgia, so I have to do some repairs there. I'm also going to meet a contractor because we're going to do some work on the property there. That's all I have. That's all for now. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.